Hi, it's Mr. Hammer here. We're doing section 10.5, which is regarding algebraic equations. Okay, so let's take a look here at something that we've learned. We have learned about algebraic expressions, and that would be an example of something like this, 3x plus 2. That's when x has a value that changes, and we multiply it by 3, and then we're going to add 2, and that's called an expression. And x changes, like it could be the number of candy bars we buy, and each candy bar is $3, and if we buy 5, it's going to cost us 3 times $5, which is $15, and we'll add 2, let's say we bought something else at $2. So this is an expression that can change depending, in this example, depending on the number of candy bars we buy. Now, if we take that algebraic expression and we make it equal to something, equal to a number, then we actually have an algebraic equation. So in this example here, they said, let's take that 3x plus 2 and make it equal to 11. Then we have an equation. And an equation is simply a statement when two things are equal. One thing is equal to something else. So in this case, we have 3x plus 2 is equal to 11. And if you think of a real-life example, we could say, well, we are buying X number of chocolate bars. I'm just going to write chalk bars. We are buying X number of chocolate bars at $3 each, plus let's say we are going to buy another piece of candy, and that piece of candy costs $2, and in total we spent $11. And this would be an example of an equation. So all the money that we spent was $11, and this part here would end up having to equal to this part here. So let's take a look here at some of the other examples. Trouble getting my arrow tool. Here we go. So here's another example. Zena buys 3 CDs. All CDs have the same price, and this is important here. And the total cost is $36. What's the cost of one CD? So how would we write that? So she buys 3 CDs. So we know she's buying 3 of something. And when you buy 3 of something that has the same price, you're multiplying. So she's going to multiply by the CDs that she's buying. We don't know what the price is, though. So let's say we'll write C. And C equals the cost of one CD. Okay, so we'd be doing 3 times C, and the total cost that she spent was $36. So 3 CDs times the cost per 1 CD would give us $36. And then their question is, well, what's the cost of 1 CD? Well, we can say, well, 3 times what number gives us 36? Clearly, that's going to be 12. So each CD is $12, and you can see how 3 times 12 is equal to 36. So that's why this is an equation. Now, one note about this is, how would we actually write this? We don't write 3 times C because we write 3C. So we'd write 3C equals 36. Remember, when you see a number beside a variable, inside there we have an invisible multiplication sign. Okay, so we have to remember that. Let's go to the next page. And another example here. Mark thinks of a number. He multiplies the number by 2, then adds 15. The answer is 35. Write an equation for the problem. So let's start up here. Mark thinks of a number, n. He multiplies the number by 2. Well, do we write n times 2? No, we write 2n. 2n means 2 times a number. Then he adds 15. So then plus 15. The answer is 35. So when he multiplies the number by 2, and he adds 15, that is all going to equal to 35. So equals 35. So here is our equation. Okay, and you could solve this equation later. We're not going to do that now, but you could figure out, using this equation, what is n equal to. But that's not what we're doing. We're simply learning how to turn words into equations. Let's look at a couple other examples here. So A, 3 more than a number is 15. So 3 more than a number. So 3 more is 3 plus, and it's more than a number. So 3 plus a number is, now in this time here, means equals. Okay, so 3 plus n equals 15. Let's look at B. So that's A. B, 5 less than a number is 7. So this gets tricky. So 5 less than a number. So if that number was 10, 5 less than 10 would be 10 minus 5. So we're going to write n minus 5 for 5 less than a number is, again, is equals. So equals 7. So a number minus 5 equals 7. Again, don't worry about solving what n is. We're just creating equations. See, a number subtracted from 5 is 1. Again, they're trying to trick us up here. A number subtracted from 5. So if that number was 2, let's say, 2 subtracted from 5 would be 5 minus 2. Now, the number isn't 2. The number is just the number. So it's 5 minus n is equals 1. Remember, when you have subtracted from, the number goes to the beginning, and then the 5 would go to the beginning here, and the number part goes to the end. Whatever is first goes to the end. Whatever is after subtracted from goes to the beginning. And D, a number divided by 3, so n divided by 3 is equal to 10. And that's our simple lesson for section 10.5, which, as a reminder, is how to create algebraic, notice the spelling, equations. So before we were dealing with expressions. This part here, I'm going to circle it, do it in red. So the red part is the expression. These parts are the expression, and the blue is the equation. So the entire thing is the equation. And you need to know the difference between the two, especially for this test. And what turns the red, the expression, into an equation is simply the equal sign. So the red ones here are algebraic expressions. And the blue ones over here are algebraic equations.